Well, what you're going to see is a lot of these charts are going to have done exactly the same as the market, because when there is a huge crash and then a bounce back up, quite often a lot of the market's going to follow what was happening, a lot of the shares. So we'll see that quite a bit. And here, big drop down, bounce back up. What we'd be interested in looking at, I think I mentioned this last time we were on the call, is you're looking for companies that are either performing stronger than the market or weaker. And if we now thought that the market might be about to drop back down, we're not going to guess, we're going to wait and see what happens. But if it starts to drop back down, you want to be getting into the companies that are overall have been a bit weaker than the market. So right now we can see big drop down, bounce back up. And this one, I'm just going to bring up the chart of the market again, just to show you. So if you have a look on the market there, we got a bounce here. Actually, let me just draw this on for you. Let me get a pen here and I'll draw it. So we had a kind of one there, kind of going back up. And if it drops again, we might get this double top. But you can see the second bar over there is about at the same level. So the price got up to about the same level twice. And if I have a look on this first chart that we were just looking at here, so if I go back to there, you see this time, this one did the first peak and now it's even lower the second time. So even though the market was kind of flat across these two peaks, this one has gone lower. So it's saying it's weaker than the overall market. So if we do now get a drop down, this one could drop down even better, even further, and even faster than the market. And we actually got a little kind of doji bar there as well. So you could watch this, see if it starts to drop. Let's have a look at the next one. Now, this one hasn't, I'm going back out, I'm looking at about 12 months worth of data along the bottom here, just for those of you who are new to the monthly webinar. This one hasn't done the big bounce back up. It's kind of just got a little bit kind of sideways like this. Again, weaker than the market by a long way. It's an aluminium company. If it starts to drop, could drop down quite nicely. It's currently at about $7. Even this teeny drop here down to $5 there is a percentage-wise, trying to work that in my head, is quite a nice big percentage anyway, if it drops down to there. So you could watch and see if that started to drop. Now, again, another company going up, got that peak. You got a lower second peak, which means it's slightly weaker than the overall market. If you get this double top in the market and it starts to drop, this one should drop even more, which would be great. So another potential trade there. Right now, at the moment, I would be probably at the stage where you get a nice few companies on your watch list that look almost ready to go. Because what we want to do is probably going to be over these next few days is you want to see, is the market overall going to break out and go a little bit higher, or is it going to reverse and start to drop? And that's kind of going to decide what the main types of trades you're going to do. If it starts to drop, then you're looking for some down trades. If it breaks above the peak and starts to go a bit higher, I'd be cautious getting into up trades at the moment because it has bounced quite a long way. You could get into a few as long as you're watching them carefully. So let's keep going. Now, this one, is there a good trend or is there a good channel? Neither really, and it's kind of not following the market. It's all over the place, so I'll just skip straight past that one. Now, this has done a huge move up here and dropped back down a bit. Yeah, there's kind of the story behind some of these companies is due to this whole corona crisis. So this company, Abbott Labs, obviously working on vaccines. So this would be the move up as everybody thinks they're going to discover the cure for this, and then the drop back down a bit when something doesn't quite work out right. Trading companies like this that are kind of actively involved in trying to find some kind of vaccine for this is slightly more high risk because either they're going to find the vaccine and it's going to shoot up in price, or their testing is going to fail and it's going to drop down in price. So it kind of goes one or other way, usually in a big way. So it's going to be very news based if you're trading this, which is a little bit higher risk than some of the other trades you could do. Now this one, I've still got some trend lines on there. I'm going to get rid of all the trend lines, I think, if I can. I'll leave them on there for now. It just means we looked at it before. So this one, actually, if I skip down, I'll skip down a little bit further in the list. Let's try and go to something that I haven't looked at recently. So big drop down. Now this actually looks reasonably strong, this chart. You see, it's done. If I draw this on, we've got this almost like head and shoulders pattern here, and heading back up a bit like this. Again, if the whole market drops, it will probably take this one down as well. But at the moment, if the market does go up a little bit more, this one will probably keep going up because it's got a fairly strong reversal pattern there. By the way, I know I say this each time, but for those of you who are new to the webinar, ticker is up here. So it's JWN, ticker on that one. Yeah. So let's carry on. Let's have a look at the next one. Let's go, oops, I'll get rid of that drawing first. And so kind of all over the place, some big crazy moves there. I think I'll just leave that one. This one going back up. Whereas the market had a 1-2 peaks at about the same level, this one's a bit lower, so it's a bit weaker. So if anything, I'd be looking possible down trade on it. So the ones that are a bit weaker, possible down trades. The ones that are looking a bit stronger than the market, possible up trades. But it's going to be dependent on what happens to the market in the next few days. So we're going to watch and see. This one, pretty strong, gone up quite high. It's almost back at the peaks up here. Yeah, getting quite close. And these kind of things, when you're going through your watch list, if you see something that looks really strong right now, or a lot stronger than the market, it's a good idea to put it on your watch list, because if the market does do another big drop down, when it starts to bounce back up, these are the ones that are likely to take off the quickest and go up the furthest, the ones that were strong on the first bounce. So it's nice to kind of use this time to get some really good stuff on your watch list, so that if it does do another big drop down, you're ready and you have all of these lined up ready to go. So this one, it looks fairly strong. Again, this one's gone almost right back up to the top there, so fairly strong. Could be on your watch list for, if we get another drop, could be a potential to buy to head back up. Again, this one's strong, far stronger than the market. Big move up these last few days. Now, would we want to get into the trade right now? I'd say no, because it's gone up so hard and fast there. And as I said, it looks like the market's possibly getting ready to turn. Even if the market goes up a bit higher, this one is already gone up such a long way. It's a bit high risk, because if you remember from the training, you always want to enter a trade close to support, close to the support level. And this one is definitely not close to any support level. It's right up there. And remember, the support level, if something is going up, I'll just draw it on there for you. Support level, you try and join up as many of the price bottoms as you can. So something like that. Actually, let's just draw it for you with a fatter line. So maybe like this, going up like that. And right now, you can see it's really far away from that support level. And you always want to be buying close to support. Yeah. So that one's too high risk if it's far away from the support level. So let's carry on. Let's look at the next one. So gone up, it's done the same as the market, big drop down, bounce back up, hasn't got up as high the second time. So if the market drops, this one should drop faster further. So it's a potential down trade if the whole market starts to reverse. It's a bit, in times like this, when there has been a big market crash and a bounce, it's a bit strange, and we kind of changed the strategy slightly because so many shares, so many companies are following the market and doing what they do. So it is very much a case of, is it stronger, is it weaker? Build up your 2 watch lists and then get ready when the market starts to move in one of those directions. It's actually a super good opportunity right now, especially if we get another crash in the market. There'll be incredible opportunities to get into good companies cheap. So here, actually, let me just zoom back out a little bit. So market's on a huge move down, hasn't bounced back up very far, really. It's almost doing a little head and shoulders there, but pretty weak. It hasn't gone back up very far compared to a lot of other shares. So again, fairly weak, could go on the potential downs if the market starts to turn. KSS, ticker on that one. This one, wow, that's like been doing terribly, I should say, dropping down like this, while the market was generally going up. So very weak. If the market does turn, could easily be going down to there, could be going down further. Yeah. So let's go on to the next one. That one now heading back up, looks a bit similar to what we looked at just a second ago. Hasn't gone, a lot of the companies have gone back up to the 50-60% mark, kind of up here. This one hasn't, so generally overall weaker. Let's carry on. Bit weaker than market. You can see these last bits going, oh, didn't need to draw that, going down like this. So this, I was gonna speed up a bit and see if we could find something really strong or really weak. Good example, that's another laboratory, so it'll be another news-related trade based on whether they're doing well in their research on the vaccine. So I said a little bit higher risk trading those ones. But let's keep going. Let's see if there's anything that looks particularly interesting. Okay, so that's quite interesting. Huge move up here, and then 1, 2. Even when the market was going down, huge move up. Oh, actually, looking at the date at the bottom there, for some reason that hasn't updated. It must have changed, the ticker must have changed or something on that one. So yeah, which would make sense why the chart looks slightly different. So let's have a look. This is now right up to date. You can see there, 27th of April. So that's end of day yesterday. Big move up. Didn't really drop that much when the market was dropping. Came straight back up, racing back up there. So this one, actually very strong, could be a potential for your up trades when the market is dropped. Yeah. Saying that, they are again. I think, I don't actually know, but I think they're also a medical company. Yeah. So this again will be quite news related. Now, don't know what's happened there. That's a bit of a strange chart. So we go straight on to the next one. Big drop, bounce back up. It's bounced back up more than the market. That's more than 50-60%. So strong, potential strong company. If we get another big drop in the market, that one could be a potential as another big up move. Ticker LMT. This one, just similar to a lot of the other charts we've seen, slightly weaker than the overall market. This one is a bit stronger, heading up again. Actually, let's have a out of interest, because a lot of these US companies are following the S&P 500. Let's, in a second, we'll switch over and we'll have a look at some UK companies, see what's going on there. This company, oh, it's an airlines, Southwest Airlines. Okay, so let's talk about. There's been quite a few companies that are really directly and hard hit by this whole crisis. One of them is airlines. One of them is holiday companies. Well, there's lots of companies, but there's a few categories that have been really hard hit by this. Now, for example, airlines. Do you want to buy airlines right now because they're cheap? No, probably not, because they could still go down a lot further. But yeah, and hotels, someone was saying as well, that's definitely another category that's been very hard hit by this. What you want to do is, yeah, and cruise liners, thanks, I'm getting lots of prompts here of company categories that have been hard hit, cruise liners particularly. What you want to do is, you want to find within those categories the companies that are the strongest, and then put those on your watch list because these companies, as long as they don't go bust, in the biggest companies, the ones that have got good cash in the bank, the biggest airlines, the biggest hotel companies, they're not going to go bust. And what will happen is, when the markets finally hit the bottom and we start to come out of this whole crisis, they're the ones that will rocket up and they'll really take off fast. So you want to build up a little kind of portfolio of the hardest hit categories, but with the best companies in it. And the way you can do this is if you go on to, well, lots of websites, but if you go to investing.com, you can type in the company name and it will just show you their fundamentals. And we've already done all this on the 3-day training course. You know how to do this. type in the company name, look at the fundamentals, and just try and find the strongest companies. But I mean, a really simple way to do this is, if a company is very big and well established, you probably know the name of that company. And try and build up a little portfolio of some of these categories, hard hit, get the best companies, have them ready to go, but don't get in them yet. Because if there's another big drop in the markets, and the economic data is probably going to keep getting worse for quite a time, if we get this another big drop down, they'll go down even further. But then you'll be looking for the best ones for this bounce kind of back up. So that was kind of a little aside. Let's switch over. Let's have a look at some UK companies. So if we go over here, okay. So again, let's start a bit further down the list. Let's start here somewhere, and we're going to see a similar thing on UK companies. Oh, someone's just asking, what about oil? So for oil companies, oil has been dropping massively. Anybody who's been following the news will have seen oil's been doing like 20% drops in a day, crazy stuff. And because there's basically not much demand, because the economy is basically on hold in a lot of countries all around the world, and there's huge supply. And in America, they're actually running out of places to store oil. Well, around the world, actually, they're running out of storage for oil just because there's so much of it and nobody wants it. So price is super low at the moment of oil. Is that the lowest point, or is it going to go any lower? Again, kind of my personal opinion, I think it will probably go even lower, because the economy, even when the world economy starts to open back up, and some European countries are starting to open gradually, America, a few states are starting to kind of gradually reopen, the economy is not going to pick up that fast. It's going to be a gradual reopening, including in the UK. And this oil kind of oversupply is going to keep building up and up and up and up. And the more oil there is around, and until the demand picks back up, they're going to have to try and get rid of this oil fast. Yeah. So I think we could be in for another drop in the oil price. But again, be looking for reversal patterns. If it drops, if it does another big drop down, look for these head and shoulders, look for these double bottoms. And if it starts to turn, then, and if you've got a long enough outlook, kind of 6 months, a year, it is going to go back up. It's not going to stay at this level. It will head back up. So could be some good potential trades there. And what you can do is you can actually trade some of the oil companies, some of the big oil companies, rather than oil itself, if you wanted to. So let's, another little aside there, but this is good stuff because this is all kind of relevant to what's happening now. So let's have a look at a few UK companies. Similar thing. Oh, and the other question was, what do I think of gold and silver? Okay, sure, let's do that as well, as we're kind of on these topics. So gold, traditionally gold, when there's crisis and the markets drop, gold goes up. Silver normally follows the gold price, but it's usually, excuse me, it's usually a bit leveraged. So if gold goes up by 1, silver goes up by 2. It's kind of just, it moves more than gold, basically. And gold is has been going up. If the economic data keeps coming out and it keeps being bad and the market drops again, gold should go up even further. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, gold could quite easily go up quite a bit higher. Now, we should at least look at a few UK companies, I think. So here we go. Big drop down, bounce back up. Nothing particularly unusual happening here. It's just pretty much following what the market's doing. What we want to do is try and find something that's a bit different. So here, big drop down, and we haven't had a bounce up there. So it's weaker than everything that's going on. If we get a drop below here, then it could be heading down even further. Yeah. So you'd be looking for a break of support. It's just because it hasn't even bounced back up, it says it's weaker than a lot of other companies at the moment. And the other, I was just going to get distracted again, but this might be useful. I'll just remind you of this news overreaction strategy, because with all this crisis going on, there will be some big news stories coming out about individual companies. And what will generally happen is, so let's say, for example, the company share price is going up like this. Maybe it's followed the market bounce. And then a piece of news comes out about this specific company, that something really bad has happened to them. What will usually happen is people will overreact. It drops all the way down. And then you normally get a correction. On this bit here, if you zoom into it, you'll see some kind of short-term reversal pattern on like a 5-minute or a 15-minute chart, and then it starts to bounce back up, and you get this correction, and that's the nice bit to trade from there to there. That's on an individual company if you get a particularly bad bit of news about it. The overreaction, the correction, it then might keep dropping down if it really was bad news, but you can try and grab this bit by looking at a 15-minute chart, yeah? And you can get some really good trades by doing that. And the way you find these news stories, George was just asking me there, is I go to cnbc.com, just the website, cnbc.com, or bloomberg.com, or even if you've got your phone, on an iPhone, if you just go to the Stocks app, then it lists all the news stories, and you can just see if there's good or bad news coming out about a particular company. If you're on an Android phone, just use the investing.com app. Investing.com has news headlines on the front page, and that's a really good way to find these stories as well. So let's continue. Let's have a look at a few more companies here. Let's just whiz through and see if we can find anything particularly interesting. So Royal Bank of Scotland, big drop down, hasn't had any kind of bounce back up. Nice support level here. Now, if you remember, the stronger the support level, usually the bigger the move up or down when that level gets broken. So if this breaks below that level, we'd expect a big trade down, yeah? And so you can watch this, see if it's going to drop down. If it starts to bounce back up, then that's fine, but I'd be interested if we get a break below here as a potential down trade, yeah? A break of a strong support should get a nice drop down. So now we've let's keep going just for a bit more. Let's keep going looking. We didn't actually look through too many of these UK companies. Let's look through a couple more similar to what's happening to the market. Drop, bounce, maybe a little bit stronger. Here again, we haven't really got a proper nice bounce there, yeah? So and the question was what would be good to be trading now? Well, it was, as we got this big stock market drop. Oh, actually, I should draw it with a pen. Let's go over here. So we had the big crash down. It did kind of reverse down here as well, and then started to head back up. It wasn't like that actually, but it started to head back up. And on this piece here, that was the good bit to trade a lot of these tech companies that had plummeted back down. Now, what would we want to trade right now? Well, as I said, this is kind of at the turning point. Oops, didn't mean to draw it like that. Let's just get rid of that. This is kind of at a potential turning point, yeah? So market's gone up like this, oops, something like that. And then we got this kind of peak there, and then it's kind of like that. So this is an all-important point where it's either going to push up through here and you'll get another leg up, or it's going to start to drop and it could be then heading back all the way down to there, yeah? So it's kind of right now, the next kind of few days, week or so is going to be really important to work out which way this is heading. Yeah. So what I'd say is use this time to get your watch list all set up ready so you can trade in the direction it starts to head. Now, oh, so someone's saying my screen is frozen. Let me just, I'm going to flick to another chart. Tell me if you can see the next chart. So that should be Royal Dutch Shell. Can everybody see the same screen as me? Yeah, everyone's saying yes, 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 yes. Cool. Okay. I think it was just that one person's screen had frozen. So, yeah, bounce back up, 1, 2, similar thing. It's got a little bounce back up, looking weaker than the whole market, so might be ready to drop there. And let's carry on. So nothing particularly interesting with that one. As I said, I'm looking for stuff that's a bit different to what the whole market's doing. So, because there's going to be loads of stuff that's just followed the market. So let's have a look. Something particularly strong or particularly weak. got a special request there. Let's just have a look at that one. So there we go. Oh no, didn't find the ticker. That was FERG. Not quite sure why I didn't find that. Oh, dash. Oops, dash none. That'll do it. Nope, still didn't find it. Okay, let's carry on. It was just someone asked a special request to see that chart, but for some reason it's not finding it. So something particularly big move up, particularly big move down. As I said, this isn't normally the way that I screen for companies, but as it's unusual times, this is the kind of thing you need to do, looking for, oh, there we go. So let's go back. Dropping, even though we've got a bounce in the whole market, still dropping. So pretty weak. This is ticker STAN. If the market now starts to drop as well, this could take it down even further. And then lots and lots of these companies all doing a similar thing, big moves up like this, and they're going to follow the market. Whichever way the market goes, they're going to follow the market. And if you wanted to, by the way, if you've got a particularly strong view of the market, you can just trade the market, just trade the index. Yeah. Now, we've been going for just over half an hour there. Quite an exciting announcement. You're the first people hearing about this. For many years, people have said, Darren, are you going to start a fund? Can we give you money to invest? Can you manage money for us? For the first time ever, we can actually offer managed accounts. So myself and my team, we would be trading these accounts. It's not a fund as such. What it is, we can now offer managed accounts for individual people. So if you personally would like us to manage your trading, your investing for you, myself and my team, we would be trading your account for you. There are some qualifiers as to whether we take you on as a client. But it's pretty exciting news. We've been wanting to do this for years and years now, and finally we got this all set up. So we can actually offer managed accounts. And I think Tanya was actually online. Let me just see if she is, because she was kind of helping me set up the whole process. And as I said, there are some qualifiers as to whether we're able to do this for you. I think certain account sizes and certain rules which she knows about, but it's pretty exciting stuff. It just means if you wanted us to invest your money for you, we now are able to do that. Let me just see if I'm just gonna, because I think her microphone switched off, so I'm just gonna switch her mic on so she can speak and see if she's on there. It says that she has her own mic switched off. Oh, there we go. Hi Tanya, are you on?
Hi everyone. How are you all doing?
Just give us a yes if you can hear Tanya. They say yes. Cool.
Can you switch on my camera maybe?
Yeah, sure. Let me. Do you want me also? I was going to say I can send, because those of you who are interested in this managed accounts, let me just send you a link, and then Tanya can explain that link that I'm just sending to everybody. That's kind of the application form if you wanted to have us manage your money, have us manage your investments. You should have all received that in the chat window or the message window. Anybody give me a yes that you received that? Yes, you did. Okay, cool. Yeah. And Tanya, I think, shall I switch on your camera and pass it over to you to explain a bit more?
If you can, yeah.
So let me just see if I can do this. So I should be able to hopefully switch on your camera. So there you go. Tanya, you should have got a request asking about switching on your camera. I think you just need to click on it and hopefully it should switch on.
No, not that easy. It's asking me to do something. Quick time player. It's asking me to change system preferences.
Yeah, I think it does that for the first time when you share camera. It's gonna ask you to allow GoToWebinar to share your camera.
No, it doesn't.
No. Okay, it's fine.
Sorry.
You can explain.
Let me try last time. No.
I'll send that link to you again, Tanya. So there you go. So the camera share, you should have seen the pop-up kind of appear. And but in the meantime, someone was just asking, when's the next live trading day? I will check with the office, and you should all get an email about that from us. And it will be online, obviously, because we can't yet hold them in person. But yeah, we will run that, and it'll be online, so you can all watch that. Mm-hmm. Any joy with the camera, Tanya, or you?
No, it basically is too technical and too complicated for me. It wants me to open system preferences and do something with privacy and security.
Okay, sure. So you should. I think everybody. I just sent the link to everybody in the chat window, and people were saying yes, they got it. And yeah, I think I'll just pass it over to you if you want to explain a bit more. But as I said, pretty exciting news. I'm going to be kind of managing the whole process. I'm overviewing the whole thing. Myself, the team, we're going to be trading. Yeah, just I'm really excited about this whole project. So Tanya, if you want to go into some of the details.
Any chance you can switch on for me chat so people can ask me questions?
Yeah, I should be able to do that. Let me have a look.
Somehow forward me questions. In the meantime, I'll start talking, and if any questions come to your chat, maybe you can forward to me.
What I could do.
Some of you might know me from doing personal coaching sessions, live trading sessions, maybe some not. In case you still do a live trading coaching session, feel free to book one with one of our team. But in the meantime, we are keeping very, very busy with trading our own money, and also will be now trading yours if you find markets a little bit overwhelming for you. To open just a normal, first of all, you apply through the link which Darren sent you, and we can only accept money if it's not basically a small amount, and if you qualify and if you have savings and so on and so forth. And then once you've been pre-qualified by FCA regulated company, which is our umbrella company, then you will be opening just a normal trading account with markets.com, which is a different account if you already have one. And when we place trades, you will be able to see it in your account. The only difference from normal account that it will be a read-only format. So you won't be able to close or open your own trades in that special account. It will be like a copy trading system. So any account, any trades we do on our own account will be copied onto yours. So that's how it's going to work. Some people with whom I discussed this opportunity said it will be a fantastic learning opportunity because you will be able to see when we open and close trades. And also, obviously, as part of this apprentice group, you will be able to ask questions why and reasons for getting in and out of trades as well. So if any of you are interested in this opportunity, just let us know and we'll be in contact. Otherwise, if you just want to have a go, click the link and get trading.
Tanya,
yeah.
Any questions about anything to do with this? What should they do? Just email.
Send any questions to support email, your apprentice support email, which is wininvesting@yahoo.com.
And I should say, a few people are asking, this is open to anybody, not just apprentices. Is that correct?
Yes, it's open to anybody, but apprentices is a group that we are communicating this first. So anyone that is like really interested can get going right now. We will
Basically,
be
apprentices, you'll be getting the priority, but it is open to anyone. So anyone you can apply. Any questions can just go to our usual. I'll just send that to everyone. Just info@wealthtrainingcompany.com.
No, wininvesting@yahoo.com. So
Oh, okay.
in apprentice support email.
And for non-apprentices, because there's lots of non-apprentices on this call.
Okay, then I suppose to info, yes.
Info is the one to use, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the link I sent you earlier, that's the application form, so you can apply there. And you'll see it actually has on the top of the form, it has Pelican. That's the umbrella company,
Yes,
which basically
that is FCA regulated, and who will be monitoring that we don't do anything illegal.
Yeah, so basically they're just the company that are giving us the umbrella to be able to do this, but the trading is done with is us doing
by
it.
us. Trading is done by us.
Yeah. So a few people there saying they can't find the link. Let me just I'll send it. Somebody's just saying sorry I can't find the link. It should just be in the message box.
Can you put it, Darren, maybe on the screen on a Word or PowerPoint?
I'll put this on the screen as well. So if I just shut that down.
But it's a complicated link, so you will need to kind of easier to click it.
Yeah. So and it's not letting me just cut and paste that onto the screen for some reason.
So I have a question. Can you have a SIP in it? I don't know. I will check this and get back to you.
Now that's not, oh, that's the link there. Actually, that top link, I just brought it up on the screen. Oops, let's just go back up the page there. So you should be able to see that.
When are you planning to start? Darren, I will be answering questions once you're sorting out the link.
Okay, the link's now on screen. So if anybody couldn't see it in the chat, it's on screen just there.
I cannot see it.
Should be on screen.
The question is, when are we planning to start? It is available right now, and we have already started. So application is live as soon as you open your trading account, and you will be funding your own trading account, and our trades will be just copied onto your account. So you will have full access to it, and you will be able to see what's going on with your account. So it is already live. Minimum investment will be in the region of £50,000. Cannot open the link. Darren, can you just check if it opens?
Okay, I'm gonna copy that link straight off my screen there and check if I can open it.
Email info@wealthtrainingcompany.com is correct, or wininvesting@yahoo.com. This is support email, and it goes to all of our coaches and me. And I, as a head coach, monitor that email to check that we answer questions.
There's the form. I just brought it up on the screen. Somebody pointed out their manager. There should be an A in that. So apologies for that typo. But that's the application form.
Next question: what returns are you expecting? As usual, in fund management environment, we're not allowed to make any promises. But from the last webinar, George, have you attended the webinar which I did? I did give example that for March I closed at 104,000 profit, and I only have a 900,000 account, and basically and I trade very small amounts. So you can work out what percentage I did on my own account. For the form, cannot find the link. What is the price commission? Okay, this is very good question, and very appropriate. We charge 25% of profits and the usual 2% management of the total amount. Looking at the application form, is this opening an account, or this is a pre-qualifying questions, Stephen. You will be opening account with markets.com. So after you're pre-qualified, you will receive a link to open your account, which will be the Pelican software will allow us to trigger any trades, so they are copied onto your account. So it's basically a copy trading software. Next question. Is this short or longer term trading? I personally specialize now in intraday trading using lunchtime strategy. On the info sheet for this fund, we did actually describe a strategy that we will be using. And those of you that have done a second live trading session with me are familiar with the lunchtime strategy. They called it wealth training strategy. So I will be using that, which is in fact reasonably simple. So you go with the uptrend or downtrend depending on the up or down day in the market, and the entry and exit points are always based on indicators. The three indicators which I use for intraday trading, which is RSI, CCI, and stochastic, based on Darren's settings. Some might be longer term, but generally short term. So you will expect to see a tangible result within a month at least, because this is not the type of fund where you invest your money and then hopefully you're gonna see that you will make 3 or 5% a year. We will be aiming to trade very actively. Again, question, what is the minimum amount you need to invest? As I said, 50,000. If there are any special circumstances, will be able to consider after you do the application. Please, could you give the email address to help again, please? Struggling to hear everything. We will have a recording of this webinar, so can send you that, Storm. Send recording. I think recording will be sent to some people who requested. Any other? How much does this service cost? Again, as I said, 2% management fee per month, and then we have 25% of the profit. A few questions are repeating, the same ones. Sounds interesting. So as we speak, if you don't mind, just email me any questions if you have, or which I have not answered, or if you have special circumstances. Yeah, so if you have special circumstances, then email to wininvesting@yahoo.com. Can the link be emailed to us? Yes, we will email link to everyone as well. Again, question about minimum account. Just to reiterate, again, question, trades will be swing or intraday? Mainly intraday. As I teach in my coaching session, I don't insist trades to be intraday or held for a few minutes. I insist on trades to be profitable. So generally, if we do a down trade on a downtrend, when all indicators are giving you the right signals, if suddenly a trade goes against you short term because some urgent news came out and you couldn't predict that, I would not necessarily leave the trade, because I watched it many times that generally people overreact to news. And as long as we've done it right, the trade will still go in our direction, but not necessarily the same day. So we may hold it for the next day or two. Okay. Minimum again. Again, this is not only open to apprentices, but you're the first ones to hear. What is the minimum amount again? Sunny, I didn't understand your question. Not sure if any of your questions coming through. Has Darren answered your questions now? Because they are coming through and I can see it. Could you let us know what qualifiers are, please? Basically, qualifiers are the questions in the application. So if it's like somebody wants to take a loan to put it into a fund, that will not be allowed, because FCA is very strict. Obviously, nobody will guarantee you certain returns or certain profits. So the questions will be where the money is coming from, do you have savings and stuff like that. So basically, nobody is allowed to take the last money into the fund. Link doesn't work. If you still have questions which are coming up right now, keep writing. And I'm kind of now going from bottom up, and then I will return to the bottom again and will answer if you have any questions. I cannot see the link. Is there any chance we can view trades taken by the team? Is there any chance we can view trades taken by the team in the last week as a learning exercise? Well, I kind of showed you my trades and even my whole statement when I did last seminar, webinar. And usually I show it during the coaching sessions, even though we're not particularly allowed to do that, because our indication of earnings is not necessarily an indication for you. So it is kind of not very recommended to do. Are you able to send link for the CDs training? CDs don't run. Oliver, if your CDs don't work or you don't use them anymore, please contact the office. They have a link for the online version. Yes, we have it. Can you send the link? Okay, I'm now scrolling. Questions are repeating. Now I'm scrolling to the bottom. Let me know if you have any other questions. Question, can we join at a later date if we have taken assets out of a fund? Basically, it's a free world and it's your money. You can take it out and you can put it in. It's completely flexible. It will be your trading account with markets, so you will be completely free to do what you want. So basically, if you put in 100,000 and you decided you actually want to try it out first and take out 50 and only leave 50, then 50 will be invested. That's basically it. You can take money out or put it in whenever you want. But if you take all money out, then you will have to go through the application process again. That's the only kind of administrative time-wasting point. Can we trade within the ISA wrapper, so tax-free? If you can take money out of your ISA or SIP and put it into the trading account, maybe you can somehow connect it to your trading account. I will have to check this one because this is a repeating question and I'm not entirely sure about it. It is highly regulated environment, so trading pensions and ISAs, I need to check. Can you do another webinar? Well, we do webinars on regular basis, Oliver, so yes, we can. What broker do you recommend best for day trading? If you go to wininvesting.com and scroll to the bottom, we have there recommended brokers. Also, speaking about the link for the fund, we are going to put our link for the application on the website as well, but it will be emailed to all of you. How will you manage the risk on overnight positions? The same way we will manage the risk on a day-to-day basis. Basically, it does not vary that much. And there will be stops used, especially the take profit ones. Because quite often, if we trade Forex, there might be spikes during the night when we're not necessarily watching. Again, how much percentage you're expecting? Well, I'm expecting definitely multiple to an interest that the bank will pay you. That's for sure, but I do not, I'm not allowed to say any expectations. Risks are very small. I'm a very conservative trader, so is Darren. The form crashed. Interesting. I don't know what's that on about. Okay, questions been answered, Sunny. Nice to hear. Would you need any special software or applications? No. If you open a trading account with markets, this is the piece of software you will be using, and this is where you will be watching your positions. Tanya, the contract with you will have a minimum duration and time. No, there will be no minimum duration. So you can take money out whenever you want, during the month even. You don't even have to wait for 1 month. So it's completely flexible. Which indicators we'll be using? I use for intraday trading just 3 indicators, RSI, CCI, and stochastic. But for the daily charts analysis, the same process will apply, the full selection process as per Darren's recommendations. The link, yes, we'll send the link. Joe. Did I say I made 104,000 using a 900,000 account? In March, yes. In February was less, and in January was less, because if I'm on holiday, which I used to be on holiday pretty much all the time, putting time aside for trading wasn't for me a priority. So generally I would kind of trade maybe 2-3 times a week for half an hour or 1 hour tops. Would get, I don't know, 10,000-15,000 profits on the months when I was like trading a lot. And last December I also did about 40. My target was always 40,000, which I kind of hit November, December. January was a bit slow for me, like because I didn't dedicate much time. So in this scenario, when you trade, you make money. When you don't trade, you don't make money, because money are not made by themselves. You need to actually take some steps and do active investment. Then you can generate good returns. And because it's not just one person will be trading, we will take shifts and turns. So you won't have a downtime when nobody is trading your account. When somebody is on holiday, if the whole team on holiday, we still will be trading your account. So yes, correct, Chris. With stop losses, when I trade my personal account, I don't use stop losses ever. Some of you who had sessions with me already know that, but I will be using it when trading the fund, because I'm simply not allowed to not use stop losses. Why do you advise to go and trade against the trend when you train us to trade with the trend? You must have misunderstood or misheard me. I do not ever suggest to trade against the trend. I say always trade with the trend. Yeah, so if it's a downtrend, you're short. If it's an uptrend, you buy, given that all indicators are in agreement. You can cash out any moment, Chin. Is there a minimum period? No, no minimum period, whenever you want. I only trading stocks or Forex, crypto as well. Ines, good question. I'm sure a lot more people are interested in crypto. For those of you that saw me teach part of Darren's 3-day course, I do not consider crypto an investment yet. Crypto comes under highly speculative, basically a gamble, because there is no still well-defined patterns or charts. It randomly goes up like few 100%, and it crashes by 90%. Lately, cryptocurrencies have been excessively volatile. We find even current markets are very volatile. If some stocks move during the crash by 30 or 50%, hardly you need to use cryptocurrencies. So stocks and Forex mainly, that's my preference. Some people prefer also indices, or prefer, what's the word? Commodities. Yeah, I don't trade neither of those because I prefer bigger volatility. And on indices, if the whole market moves 3 or 4%, that's huge. But during that move, there are stocks that will move 10, 20%. What margins are applied to trade accounts? Andrew, whatever margins are applied by law, because that will be your trading account. If it's non-professional account, then for a usual retail user, if you have a professional account, then you can have high leverage. So you set yourself margin levels. If you can afford to open professional account, when our trades are copied onto yours, your personal margins will be applied. I hope I answered that question. Can you use ISA? We'll check and get back to you on that. Target annualized return 3-5%. Well, for me, this is funny. I'm sorry. Sorry. That is something I will aim on my personal account per week. Okay. Who will be doing trading? Bettina, hi. It will be me or Darren at the moment only. Duration of the contract, there is no duration. You can pull out anytime. Liliana, you put your email here. Can you please let me know what is your question, whether it's about the fund or about something else? Rokane, can I recording as well? Can I have a recording? Just send office an email. Can you be invited, Ravi? Yes, you can. Okay, are you only going to be making money on up trades like fund managers, or you're using all the approaches and doing shorting as well? Well, Tom, to be honest, in current market conditions, it would be pretty much impossible to I wouldn't even take a responsibility on trading somebody else's funds, because today we already had a bit of a slip on the markets, even though we had a surprising up move for quite considerable amount of time, taking into consideration that some companies are not operating at all or completely shut down, markets being going up. That is bizarre for me. So anyway, we will be trading with the current trend. If it changes and markets start dropping, yes, we will be shorting, because this is not a fund as such. It's more flexible. Therefore, we will be able to do shorting. Yes. How do you trade them? Because they are not on markets. Rick, I am not sure I understand your question. Why is it some tickers on WinMate cannot be found on MarketSS? Because most brokers do not provide trading on all possible tickers and all stocks. They don't list it all. This is why the seminar recommended to open say a normal broker account, because broker and not a CFD or spread betting firm will have every possible share that you can imagine. Also, if you don't find it on markets, that's why I say have at least 2 or 3 trading accounts. You can get it on IG. So again, go to our website. All recommended brokers we list there. There is no shortage of tickets to trade, so that's not an issue. Is there a maximum amount? There is no maximum amount. 100 million, a billion, no problem. That will be all in your personal trading account, though. What money you can expect to make? Again, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to make predictions. Joe, the question is about one of our team members. For now, only me and Darren will be managing the fund, and then once somebody else proves with their trading statements that they're doing the expected returns, then they will be joining the trading team as well. Are you swing trading or day trading or mixture? As I already answered, mixture, mainly intraday trading. Some trades may be left a bit longer. And not separate account for each, just one account. Tanya, will you trade for us, or you will give us instructions to trade on the account? No, we will trade our account, our company account, and any trades we place. When you set up this system, go through application and open markets account, all our trades will be copied onto your account. So as if we are trading your account, you will not have to do anything. In fact, you will not be able to do it because your account will be read-only format. You will be only able to see activity on your account. Will the trading company be regulated by the financial ombudsman? Yes, Elizabeth, I already answered that. The umbrella company is FCA regulated because we would not be able to accept your funds and trade it without this. It's not legal in UK. So it's all 100% legal, and I spent a whole year setting this up. 2% is charged for assets invested? Yes. Thank you. Is it possible with £10,000 under special circumstances? Please email, go through application process, and if Pelican accepts you, then it will be up to them because they are the FCA regulated company. So charge 2 plus 25 of profit. Yes, this is correct. I'll email the details, but no, Andy Harrington and the Jet Set speaker are promoting your webinar. I'd be happy to do the same if you can get me a referral ID. Okay, James. Nice, very nice of you. Thank you. Can't find list of brokers on wininvesting.com. Just scroll to the bottom. It's there. Let me just check just in case. Okay, it's not all the way to the bottom. There are most recent posts which are safe haven assets and bottom in risk assets and depression investing. These are just Darren's articles at the bottom, but just above it, just before subscribe, you have trading account and you have 2 banners there. We will put the link for the fund management as well. So it is there. Just look closer, Ray. Equities, currencies, I've answered that as well. Mainly equities and currencies is me. Darren is more indices, and equities. What markets would you trade? Yes, UK and US only. Me, mainly US. Can this be discussed on another webinar? Is this the end of the webinar? Margaret, for the learning part, it is. Now I'm just answering questions. Shannon, can you please, about again access to online videos, please just contact the office, they will send you access. So yes. James, do not understand your comment. Okay, I know details are in backpack. Matt Wilson and the team at Einstein Marketer teach it well. Please send me the webinar link. If you contact the office for any additional links, questions, or support email, we'll sort it out. For those of you living in foreign countries, this is not going to be spread betting. Therefore, you can just open markets.com CFD account, and it's fine whether you are UK based or foreigner. It's suitable for everyone. This would be through a spread betting account in markets. Depends, Chris, it depends on residency, because for foreigners, spread betting is not allowed. How does it work? Is it on a percent of what you have in your account? Or will it just trade with up to 50K? So, Jonathan, your question, how does it work? We will not ever trade, first of all of the account, because you always have to leave cash in the account to allow for any movements in either direction, so you don't get a margin call. And we will not ever trade just one thing. We will diversify. If it's 100,000 account, then you will have maybe 10, 20 different trades. So it will be like a large portfolio of different trades, stocks and currencies, and it will be in both up and down directions. So we will diversify according and appropriate to the market conditions at present. So if it's a down day, most trades will be down. Please send me this session. Would it work on any other platforms? Joe, no, this particular copy trading software is only connected to the markets.com. So it cannot be used on any other platforms, because whatever we trade, it will be not triggered on your other platforms. Understood, more a matter of it. It takes time to release those funds. Can you say join in a month's time? Sorry, Deborah, not sure. Understand your question. Well, basically there is no notice, but if you take all of the money, you will have to apply again. So if you leave, say, £1,000 there, then hopefully you'll be fine. But again, before closing it, you need to check with the team. Please, could you explain your lunchtime strategy? Damon, I suggest you just, in that case, take a live trading session with me. Yeah, I already covered it in this webinar, but that's in brief. I can cover it in more detail in a private session. Is it tax-free? It will depend on your residency and the type of account. Thank you for your time. Would we need any special software? No. James, you asked for affiliate link a few times. Wow, that's not very good, is it? It means Darren doesn't want any more business. He seems to be too busy with the current situation. Yes, we've been busiest ever because everyone is now in lockdown, sitting at home, and finally has time to dedicate to trading and learning what they paid for. Anyway, we could see the way you trade without investment. It would also be good to see your entry and exit. Mark, well, I kind of did that at some seminars, late seminars we do, and I also do it in private live trading sessions because we generally trade together. Do you follow the rules you gave us to use no more than 5% of investment pot on any one investment? Tom, I'm not sure what you mean by 5% per investment. Kind of rule of thumb that Darren suggests, it depends very much on amount. If you only have, say, £2,000 in a trading account, we wouldn't recommend that you only use 5% of that because then your trades will not be economically viable. So, and then we would say trade one up and one down. If it's 5,000, 2 up and 2 down trades, and so on. So it very much depends on the size of your portfolio and how much money you have in your account. But also, number of trades doesn't grow exponentially. So with say £500,000 in a trading account, it doesn't mean that you will have like hundreds of different trades in it. It's very hard to manage. Again, no maximum amount. And my coach assigned as part of the apprentice program is no longer contactable. Sunny, this is unfortunately is the issue. A lot of people do not seem to read our correspondence. I am the head coach, and also if you contact our support email, all of your questions will be answered. If you, whoever you had your first session with is not your coach forever. Yes, you work with at least 3-4 different people, depending on number of sessions you have. You even, when you get to the highest level, you even get to work with Darren personally. But you will work with Guy, Ludo, me, Rob for private sessions and mentoring. If any issues, always just contact the office and they will be able to connect you with the right person, and contact the apprentice support email. We have a special email for that. Can we join at a later date if we have take assets out of a fund? Okay, I think I've gone back too far. We have again a few questions. Tanya, how do we book a live training session? Just email support at wininvesting@yahoo.com. This is our support email, which comes to all of our coaches. Me, Guy, Ludo, and Rob are monitoring it. Do you need to pay for live trading session? Depends what package you're on. If it's part of your package, then not. If you on a focus program, then yes. You will need to upgrade. My money is in a SIP. If you can't accept a SIP, I will need to cash it into invest. This could take a while, hence the question, Can I join in a month's time? Deborah, yes. Basically, once we started, in a month's time, you already have more track record, so you will be able to join in a month's time. No limit, no. Does live trading session cover spread betting? Yes, I generally spread bet. This is my preferred method because it allows you to grow a small account fast. I started with 10,000 account and grew it massively. When is the next live trading webinar? Live trading is not a webinar, it's a whole day event. And also we do live trading as private coaching session. Ray, that's for you. 2 times 50 equals 100K, or different strategies for 50K compared to 5 million account. Well, Ravi, this is now getting into detail, so you can again request a private discussion, and we will explain to you our risks, our diversification of portfolio strategies, and so on. Will the 100K account just differ from the 50K account in the proportion? Not really, no. Can we use IG spread betting account? No. This whole system been created to work only with markets.com. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. Will UK residents be spread betting? UK residents only can be spread betting. Nobody else can. The charge of 2%. Charles. Is 50,000 minimum for each participant or whole group? Yes, it's per person. Because if it's if somebody puts in small amount, it will not be easy. So basically, they might not be triggered on any trades that we are trading. Say if we trade reasonably expensive stocks like Amazon or Netflix, then if someone who has £1,000 account might not even get into any of the trades. Yeah, so their money will be just sitting doing nothing. So that's why there are minimum amounts, so you can kind of benefit properly from the from us trading your account. I don't have 50K to get going, spend what I had, but would you accept a pool fund from across my family members? Basically, it's up to you how you will manage the funds, but it will have to be in one trading account. So if 5 people put money into your trading account, that is absolutely fine. But again, given that person who is applying for the trading account and for this managed account, if you will qualify through the Pelican form. So you just need to go through that process and see if you accept it, and then you can manage getting the funds, like pool of funds. That's fine. Wow, questions just keep coming. I would like to know what is the warranty of the investing for the funds. Well, Liliana, the warranty is basically a complete freedom. If you don't feel that your money is growing fast enough, then you can always take it out, because it will be your trading account after all. You can terminate agreement at any point. How long are you expected to be part of Winway, as I'm young and I plan to be mentored after I stay for the apprenticeship course. Sorry, do not understand entirely your question. How long you expected to be part of Winway? Can you please rephrase it, Fahid? Is there any detailed info about the opportunity? Tamas, how nice to hear from you. I hope you are doing well. Yes, we will contact you. When will the 2% be charged, initially or on exit? On exit. Because if you say invested 100,000 and then in 1 week you took out say half of the money, then you only will be charged on the money that we trade, yeah, which will be on the 50,000. That's how it works with pretty much all funds. Georgina, we kind of had a session with you on this. Although it was over a year ago, you should be able to remember, but we can recap. Skype me, please. Adiola. Okay, for any questions on recordings, contact the office. Are we only going to be trading Netflix? No, Jonathan, we are not. Definitely not. I wouldn't be allowed to do that. I'd get a slap for it. How far back do you look to analyze an up or down trend prior to placing a trade? Gary, as I mentioned in my previous webinar, I insist on looking at 4 or 5 years of data. For me, looking at the last couple of years is not enough. Yeah, not enough data. In fact, we are now into almost the whole term of Trump being a president, and I kind of always wanted to see what was happening to the company prior to Trump becoming a president, because everything started just racing up since he came into power. So the longer the better. Thank you. Are you only going to be making money on up or downtrend? Yeah, I've already answered that. Thank you for George's answer. Can we use TradingView or charting software instead of Winways? You can use any charting software you want, Ray, of course. Winway is for people who want to do it professionally. If you hardly ever trade, and if you have time to spend on analyzing it on TradingView or something else, then it's up to you. I use whatever is most convenient and quick. And I love Winway because I know it. For me, learning a new software is a major disaster because I'm not very technically minded. Thank you. Can you spread bet? Well, depending on your residency, so UK residents can have a spread betting account. Other nationals cannot. So depends on your residency. Spread betting tax-free also only until it becomes your main income. So if your spread betting income overtakes your wages that you get from a job, you will also be taxable on it. So don't kid yourself thinking there is anything completely tax-free ever. There isn't such a thing, unfortunately. How do we book a live training session? Okay, I've gone back enough. I think we are kind of starting to run out of questions. When you do intraday trading, is the indicator showing on day bars or do you use hour? Savita, yes, when intraday trading, I use 1 day, then 1 hour, 15 minute, and 1 minute time frames. And also, I teach this at the live trading session. So, yes. Any more? I think this was the last question, and we only have half of people left on the webinar. So, unless you have anything else, I will finish here and I will await for your emails or applications and we will start communication. Goodbye and have a lovely evening.